Welcome back to Risque Business News. I'm May.
And I'm Laura, and today we're doing a little hodgepodge episode.
Sure are.
Mostly you. I've got a couple cute stories here. We're going to be talking about paying to have babies in South Korea.
Oh.
Fired up about that.
Okay.
I'm going to probably rant about Caitlin Clark for a little while because I'm her biggest fan now. And then unusual complaint by the Lego company.
Oh, that's fun. Okay, cool. I have the hate crime law in Canada.
Love.
You might have heard of that. Basically, Trudeau is on one, so we'll get on to that. He's doing some things which I kind of agree with, but I don't know if it's good. We'll get into it. It's a little sticky situation. I can see both sides. And then I want to talk also about JoJo Siwa. Who the fuck is that, and why is she all over my goddamn feed? She seems to be a small... Well, she's only 20 years old, so I feel pretty bad for her. So we'll get into this situation. She's getting a lot of...
More?
Okay, and then the other one is Kanye is in some hot water. Go figure. He's always in some hot water, but he is being sued for workplace abuse. So we're going to get into that story as well. That's really fun, actually.
He is in...
I mean, not for the people that he works with, obviously, but for me, it's fun.
All right, we'll enjoy.
Where's the money? I don't understand how you make money.
Hold
from
on.
that, though.
2 stand-up comics in New York City.
Just learned a lot of this stuff. I'm gonna ask all the stupid questions that you might be thinking at home, but are afraid to ask people.
Making it to where you feel like you're too stupid to be able to ever engage in it, they win.
Why the fuck are they doing this?
It's to make money. It's risque business news.
Okay, well, guys, I have been having mental breakdowns about every day
She has.
this past week.
That's confirmed.
Because you specifically are not buying tickets to my comedy special. Please buy tickets so that I can fucking stop having a heart attack every morning.
I
Thank
will
you.
say, I think that people have bought like the appropriate amount of tickets for the amount of time we are out for it, you know?
They
But
should be selling all of the tickets.
yes. Well, okay. We've got some time. So guys, I don't feel scared.
And if you don't
You're
live
not in trouble. You're fine.
if you don't live in New York, please share the link with your friends. I'd really appreciate it. I'm so fucking nervous. I seriously want to shoot myself. This is like the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. I can't believe how many people have specials because it is so stressful. It's crazy.
I think you just care a lot. I think a lot of people, here's the secret, don't fucking care or don't realize like how big doing a special is a big deal. You know, it's a big effort. It's a lot of that stuff that you're putting out that you've worked really hard on. And it's not just like a year of some bullshit that you threw together and you're like, I'll put it on the talk.
Exactly.
It's a lot of time.
You got to like tie things together. There needs to be like an ending and there needs to be like a, sort of like a through line through it. There's got to be callbacks. So it's like, it's been a lot of work. I've been doing a lot of hell gigs to get this material together. And
really
like,
hard.
no matter what, I'm going to get shit on all over the internet. So it's just sort of one of these things. I'm really popping my pussy, putting myself out there. Would really appreciate your support. And when the time comes that I am promoting the actual live drop of the special, you better believe I'm going to be harassing your fucking asses again.
Oh, we'll be back.
More than likely, it will be on this channel. We'll talk about it offline. But more than likely, it'll be on this channel. So, you can send your friends to Risque Business News as well. Sorry for that shameless plug. Now we're going to get
No, that's literally the point of what we're doing here. We're shamelessly plugging.
Shamelessly plugging. Also, if you guys have any outfit ideas, send them my way, dude. Because
I like
have
that
been
red one.
The red one is good too. We'll find out. But I want to
should
wear something fun.
Okay, when we're promoting, when we're promoting.
No, please promote. Laura's going to be on the shows as well.
Yes, I'll be hosting
At least one of
or
the
whatever,
shows.
something or other.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Oh, we need to definitely go through all the outfits that you were gonna do. Like, I think we should do like a little like video of like, this is what I was thinking of doing.
Yeah.
Voted it out for this reason. Camel toe, too much risk.
Right.
It was a no.
It was a no.
There was one with the lines. It's so cute, but the camel toe risk is high.
Listen, you get engagement one way or another. Am I right? But fucking my film guy, I keep sending him my things because you have to like make sure it looks good on film. So I sent him my outfit ideas, and he keeps going like, "Yeah, this would look really good in a theater." And I'm like, "Everything will look really good in a theater, Jason. I'm not a fucking theater
Yeah,
act."
I think that's an irrelevant comment, Jason. I think that's a like keep it to yourself kind of situation.
And I was like, dude, like
She's gonna do it in a club, to be clear.
I'm doing it in a club, and I'm like, I'm a girly girl. I would like to dress feminine, which is like, different than how I normally dress on stage. But I was like, I would like to dress feminine and girly and fashiony, and I don't care that I'm in a little club. I think that's actually kind of hilarious to be like, look at this insane outfit in this club in Queens.
I think it's your brand. You know what I mean? So it needs to be something that you feel comfortable, happy, and mostly comfortable in.
Totally.
Because it's about the jokes, babe.
It's about
Actually,
the jokes,
maybe it's not.
I don't know what the fuck it's about, to be honest with you.
Well, listen, couldn't be me. One day it'll be me, but right now it's not, and I am so grateful for that.
Oh God, you should.
But
be.
you did so well on Monday. We had this great show.
Oh,
May
that
and
was
Mark was
fun.
on it. You guys missed.
You missed out.
I did not promote it because it was a secret show.
It was a secret show with secret people
and it's
on
sold out. So fuck you.
Yeah,
Why
how'd
am I
you do
angry?
that?
I'm not.
How'd you do that?
It was a don't tell. But you did so well. So I think it's going to be a delight.
I mean, I couldn't be working harder on this. I think the thing that sucks, and now I'm just in a therapy session. I think the thing that sucks for me, and we will get into the stories.
We'll have a business scandal linked into Mesa somehow.
But what I hate about this is like I've some of this material I've been working on for 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? And like most of it, and then like the newest material I've been working on within this set of 30 minutes for at least like a year and a half. Coming up on 2 years. And people, you know, even now when I'm promoting the show, people will just be like, they'll be like, oh, brand new fucking comic. I've been doing comedy for 2 seconds. And I'm like, dude, I have been literally going to the worst gigs you could fucking imagine in Ohio to run this material. I am doing everything I possibly can be doing. I've been doing as many spots as I possibly can. Like, I'm putting in hard work. I know it makes you feel a little bit better to think that I'm not for some reason, but believe me, I am. So
I think the internet's just going to be the internet. And that's the reality is they don't know. And that was like the one thing I had with swimming is I was like, at the end of the day, the one thing I can definitively say is I did everything I could.
Yeah, totally.
So what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
But I'm proud of you. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. And most importantly, we will not be having mental breakdowns anymore.
No, I'm going to feel so nice afterwards. Oh, I'm going to treat myself to a fucking cocktail, because that's another thing I'm doing is not drinking until after that. So if you see me in Astoria, Queens, roughly around 11 p.m. on April 17th, I will not remember you. I will be slurring my words, and I will be probably face planted in the street.
It'll be beautiful.
And we're going to have a lot of fun that night.
It's gonna be
I'm
fun.
taking the next day off of work. Let me tell you something.
I'm flying to Puerto Rico at 6 a.m. in the Eastern Standard Time.
Yes. Yes. And I'm joining you in Puerto Rico.
I know.
That will be fun.
I'm not gonna be this goddamn pale anymore. Okay,
I know.
Enough about that. Let's dig in.
Let's dig into this podcast and what we're all here for. So, okay, my first story is about the hate crime law in Canada. Have you heard a little bit about this?
I actually have not. I've heard about the one in Scotland, that the J.K. Rowling one that everyone's popping the fuck off.
So
over.
I don't know about that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's probably its own episode.
Okay.
If anything.
J.K.
J.K.
Our girl.
Basically, J.K. Rowling, there's a law about hate speech, and she tweeted hate speech, or like what she considered hate speech, just to be like, you guys are not going to enforce this law, and if you do, like, you're not enforcing it on everybody. But they know, she knows that her lawyers can take down the law, essentially. It's kind of wild. Whatever you believe about her, like, it's pretty impressive. She's like, how much money she has, and she's like, I have a fucking good legal team. So
yeah, truly.
Bet Scotland.
That's the thing that's interesting about these hate crime laws, because they, you know, everyone's definition of hate crime is different. Like I have jokes about abortion, for example, and for some people that would be considered like hate crimes against babies, like real, you know what I mean?
Totally.
So it's like you don't know what someone's definition of hate crime is, and then it becomes a little tyrannical. Is that a word? Tyrannical?
Yeah, sounds great.
Sounds
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Tyrannosaurus Rex. You guys get it. But it becomes one of these things where it's like whoever's in charge gets to decide what is hate speech, which then is sort of like, well, what should be speech that you hate?
And that's exactly why the freedom of speech laws are so, I think, important, is because you can be mad. You be so mad, be furious about something someone says. But when the law is able to lock them up because of that, then it's kind of crazy. Then it's a slippery slope, if I may. Yeah. But go crazy, protest, be mad. But I think the government doesn't necessarily need to be involved unless it's literally like the ones where it's like you yell fire in a crowded theater kind of situation.
Right. When you're inciting, you know, violence and like stampedes and shit.
Yes, exactly. Which has been, I think that was pretty much everybody's take for the last most of my life, right? Am I wrong? I feel like this is new.
Yeah, it does feel pretty new that people would be like behind something like this. That
Right.
You're totally right. And also, if you're thinking about writing hate speech on my special, just know I'm going to lock you up.
Or like but like, I don't know.
Also say you have nice earrings or something like that.
Yeah. And also just like, I don't know, maybe still send it to your friends and like the algorithm will continue bumping it up, you know?
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, anyway, so basically, the proposed act would create a Digital Safety Commission of Canada to regulate online platforms. It says, we know the harms we experience online. We have real-world impacts and tragic and sometimes fatal consequences, Justice Minister Arif Virani said in a news conference on Monday. And yet so much of it goes unchecked. So some of this I definitely agree with. But like, for example, they're looking to ban the deep fakes, such as the ones that were viral videos of Taylor Swift's head on a naked body.
Yeah, that makes
things
sense.
like that. So like, I mean, that totally
but that
is legitimate. I just think like
I wouldn't
it does get into some like questionable. Where's the line? The line needs to be like super, super defined, and I don't know.
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm not in charge of this because I'd be like, yeah, sounds good.
Right.
Whatever they brought up. But like, because then you have freedom of expression in terms of art. Mm-hmm. And I think we can all generally agree that having Taylor Swift put into a porn video is distasteful. Mm-hmm. And I think we should probably have some laws against that. But also, like, what if there's like some like new art form or something like that? I don't know. I'm trying to be as like open-minded about things as possible, and like what are the edge cases that might then get put under. Now, what I know is happening that definitely needs to be illegal is them using those AI generators to make a lot of CP, a lot of cheese pizzas.
Cheese pizzas? What's that mean?
Child porn. You don't know the cheese
I didn't know about that. I was like, cheese pizzas? That sounds fun. What's this? I was like, is this like a kid's game?
Yeah. Yes, it is. It's a game for kids. No, but like obviously horrifying. So I think that's why part of the reason a lot of celebrities have like blacked out their, like they don't put their kids on the internet at all.
Yeah.
Is because people will download those images and then have been using them to generate AI stuff. It's horrifying. It's genuinely horrifying.
Terrifying.
You can then blackmail people with them, stuff like that. I think that just happened in some hacking case. Ooh, I should find that. That'd be a good one to talk about. But it's crazy.
That's crazy.
So the implications on the AI side are insane.
Yes.
Now, I think like going just to text-based, like stuff that you're writing.
Yeah.
Who's to say? Now, on private platforms, I think they should just limit that based on the regulations and rules. But at the same time, like does the fucking government need to be involved?
Yeah. And also, like, it's kind of interesting because I can understand the, like, want and desire to not have any bullying online. You know, obviously, I can very much agree with that. But at the same time, what constitutes as bullying? You know, like, and
does the government need to be involved?
Right.
I think that
I could see like schools being involved. I could see You know,
employers.
Like if you bully someone on the internet, if you're found to be a troll and they track it back to you, you're expelled. Something like that. There's consequences for being a troll on the internet.
Right.
You might lose your job. You might lose your relationship. There's consequences for that. But
you need to be a person in good standing in society to like interact with society. So go to school, have a great job. Not be called an asshole by your peer group.
Right.
But like, do you go to literal prison? That's where I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, what is Canada doing? They're going to literal prison?
Well, I think if depending on the thing, they could also face fines, you know, stuff like that. But So in November, Google's parent company Alphabet agreed to pay $1 million annually, or is that what is their payment?
Sure.
Pounds, whatever. Canadian rubies. I have no idea.
Oh, Canada?
Yeah.
Dollars, but like shitty dollars.
Okay.
Literally, it's Canadian dollars and they're worth less.
But they agreed to pay them $100 million annually to their government, while Meta decided to block news content on Instagram and Facebook to avoid this new law. So there's new legislation that basically says that they have to. One second. So the new legislation comes amid tensions between the Canadian government and social media companies over a law that forces companies to pay Canadian news publishers for their content. So basically what I'm understanding is that you can't post news on Instagram or Facebook. I guess we'd be out.
News?
News. So it's also like what constitutes as news? It's like CNN or like I guess you would have to pay.
I don't all of this is, I don't like it.
Yeah. It feels weird.
Feels problematic. So they're trying to limit the spread of news to just official news outlets.
Feels like you want only propaganda to be available to people. Like if you look,
or if you were trying to only have propaganda be available, this would be a very convenient law to have available.
It really would. Yeah, that's what's so
We'd be
interesting.
out. Fuck that.
I know.
Also, calling this news
is hilarious.
Bold.
I do think it's interesting. Like in the past few years, like. I don't know, like boomers and Gen Z are the same in the sense that like boomers used to get their news from Facebook. Obviously, that was proved to be extremely problematic. And now Gen Z gets all of their news, not all of Gen Z, obviously, but a lot of people get their news or like factoids anyway, that they'll say in conversation from TikTok and places like that. And so it's like, what is the difference between those two places? And is it better or worse? And I think to be like getting your news exclusively from a Fox or a CNN, I don't know, to be honest with you, because both of those are obviously wildly problematic as well. So like maybe TikTok needs to be like a third source of information. I think
what we have right now, like I know a lot of people like hate on the misinformation, but like the reality is like you have options. I don't mind it because I feel like, okay, TikTok is saying this. I'm reasonable and realize that's not necesserily true.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So then
but you're reasonable. You just said the thing. You're reasonable.
Right. True.
And
that's
educated
actually,
and all that stuff.
Yeah. I'm privileged. But point being, I think that like you can then go and say, okay, I'm going to go see what CNN says. And then based on that, you can go to see what a Fox News article says. Like it requires a little bit of work on your part, but that's part of your job to be an informed citizen of this country.
It's true.
Which most people won't do. So actually that's a great point.
They can't decipher between fact and opinion. It's like very difficult for a lot of people to do. So that's like a whole nother set of challenges.
Yeah. Well, I definitely don't like what Canada is proposing. That feels like far too much. I can see their point in trying to at least put some more parameters around it.
Definitely.
But I mean, here's what, like the government has famously been shady as hell. Like the one group we know for sure is going to fuck with us is the government.
Yeah.
That over history, you know, maybe not at this exact moment, maybe not all the time, but like at least making some fail safes for if a group gets in charge that does want to like mess around with you.
Yeah.
You're not just hamstrung. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I would advise. I'm going for office. So
okay, good.
Can you imagine? Be a very
Laura would have like she would be so intense. It would be like, you want this, you have to work for it.
You have to be intense if you should be. These
You're
literally in charge.
Your warm-up music for walking on stage to your podium would just be like Britney Spears. You got to work, bitch. You want a Maserati? You want a hot body? You want to party in France? You better work, bitch.
You want to pay your taxes? You're going to have to do a spreadsheet.
That's what
you're going to need to do.
God, I fucking hate spreadsheets. Fuck. All right.
Guess what? I like them.
You do? No, I hate them.
Are you surprised?
Okay.
Well, good luck to Canada, I guess. I know we have some Canadian listeners. I'd love to hear your opinions on this. And I hope you get to continue to have access to this it's very serious news program.
That would be so ridiculous if they didn't. Anyway.
But like, okay. Yeah. Let's talk about another foreign country. I feel like we've talked about South Korea a lot recently. Right? I feel like it's come up in a lot of stories.
I guess so, yeah.
I don't know. I love South Korea. I'm like a massive fan.
Planning a trip.
And right now I'm going to move. So
let's go.
South Korea is currently going through a massive population crisis. I don't know if you've heard about this. They have no babies. The women there are like, we're not going to have a baby. We don't want to. The setup here is kind of shitty. I think there's like a lot of misogyny over there. I don't want to comment too much on that because I don't know enough to be able to really be educated on it. And I don't want to be an asshole, but it sounds like it's not great for women over there in at least just like their social constructs, whatever. And they have to work really hard. It's very expensive, things like that. So as a result, there's not very many South Korean babies. I don't know about North Korea.
I don't know anything about North Korea. I want to find out.
Just babies. We have no idea.
Yeah, it's only babies.
Okay. I would love to go.
No, my God. I'd be scared.
I'd be scared, but I would be hyped. I would really enjoy that.
Wouldn't you be wicked scared that like You're gonna do something. You're gonna do some weird law that you didn't know was a
Yeah.
law. Yeah.
But I'd still like to go. Did you see? Okay, never mind. I'm not going to bring this up because we're stay on task.
All right. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so South Korean Seoul-based firm is trying to combat this population crisis, and they are handing out $75,000 to 100 million won every time an employee at the company has a baby to help, get the declining birth rate back up. And it's even backdating those payments to those who started a family before the policy came into place. So if you had a baby, you'd get a cool $75K from your company to just to have it, just as a fun
do
bonus.
Baby things. But then
how epic!
That is great. I wish we had something like that.
Can you imagine?
That'd be nice.
In America, they're like, how dare you even think about having a baby?
Yeah.
That's a
good luck affording it. Good luck.
That's a sin.
That's what they say.
It's a sin to consider that.
Have fun, but then if you terminate it, you're going to hell.
You're pretty much going to go to hell. We're just going to hell. It's just what's happening.
Okay, good.
So the chairman and founder of BooYung Group is this billionaire Lee Jung-kyun. That was wrong. But anyway, he said that the low birth rate results from financial burdens and difficulties in balancing work and family life. So we decided to take such a drastic measure, as to give them $75K. They're also going to foot the bill for larger families' rent and let them choose between childbirth incentive equivalent for 3 newborns or public housing like rental home. This guy's 84 too, so it's really cool that he cares this much.
It is,
because he's gonna die like any fucking day now.
Yeah, maybe he's just like, South Korea, let's ride.
Let's go. I think he wants South Korea to remain a place.
Oh wow, it's that bad?
It's really bad. Like in the sense,
shit.
It's not like there will be people in South Korea. There are babies, obviously, but I think the population crisis is. We should probably talk about that in more detail. I need to read about it. But the problem is that the workers don't fill in the gaps of the people who are aging out. And they're so heavily skewed on the older end that all their companies are going to fail, essentially, if they don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that it's not like South Koreans are going to what do you call it? Like extinct?
Go extinct.
What if they just bye?
Bye. Yeah, I don't know what you would say. That whole
self-genocide.
Jesus Christ. Bleep that word. It's not allowed on
It's not
here.
allowed anymore. But you know what I mean? Where it's just they stopped having kids and they just didn't have any more of them. And I love South Koreans are hot too.
Oh yeah?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love them. They're not their fashion, everything about them is so cool. That I really loved Seoul. I thought it was such a fun city.
I can't wait to go.
Yeah.
We are gonna go and get head transplants and then you'll see us.
And then you'll see.
And then you'll see. And then you'll like and subscribe. And then maybe you'll like and subscribe.
And then
How
we'll
about that?
sell out May special.
Yes. If I had a head transplant, oh my God. That'd be great.
But how interesting though. South Korea.
That is interesting. Well, I'm rooting for you, South Korea, because I am a huge fan of your skincare.
Fan. Your skincare is great.
And your style and all that. And your food. Everything's amazing over there. Should we move there?
We should move there and go have babies, I guess.
Oh my God. That's a great idea. I'm going to have one anyway. I might as well have one over there.
Yeah.
And then get my tummy tuck.
That's great. You're stitch up vaginoplasty at the same time. Get in there. Why do you
make my labias all tiny?
Tiniest.
So tiny.
Small.
Sorry, everybody. Okay.
Iconic. All right, what's your one?
Okay, so I'm going to talk about JoJo Siwa for a little bit. So
let's go.
You probably have seen her on your TikTok page. From what I've surmised, because I've never seen the show before, but obviously I'm familiar with the show Dance Moms as a concept. I just never watched it. She was a star on Dance Moms, okay? And she is putting out a new song. And so from what I have surmised is that she used to be sort of for lack of a better, I think she was actually on Nickelodeon for a second, but kind of a kid star, and she's trying to rebrand herself
as being an adult,
which is really fucking hard to do. I do not envy those.
No, I remember when Rihanna did that.
No, I don't. I don't remember her being a kid star.
She wasn't a kid star, but she was really young, and I think her first albums were, this is not unusual, but a little bit more accessible to I remember I liked her and I was a kid. And then all of a sudden she came out with an album and I was like, this is an adult. she's trying to fuck someone.
But maybe you didn't understand the music in the beginning because she was in her 20s for sure. Maybe you didn't understand that the innuendos were sexual.
Yeah,
when you were young.
Maybe it could be. Oh, I should revisit. And see.
You should revisit because I don't remember her ever doing.
I just
innocent
remember.
stuff.
I remember like Pawn to Replay.
Yeah,
but is that innuendo? Pawn.
I mean, I don't know what that means.
Me neither. Yeah. But that was like one of her first songs, and I remember just being like, "Oh, she's like a cute
turn
little
the music up." It's definitely like about like
bopper.
going to a club.
Yeah. Okay. So. I'm an idiot, so it's fine. Rihanna's trying to fuck since she was forever. So
and has been fucking.
How
fucking.
about that? And we're happy for her.
So JoJo Siwa is putting out this song tomorrow, and
does she? Okay. I'm sorry if I'm ignorant. She has other music.
I don't know actually. So it's like. Oh, it's not playing the fucking song.
It's a nice advertisement
for
like
here we go.
A perfume or something. Oh, this is her. No, it's not.
That is her. So she's doing this weird like makeup on her face, which is essentially just a rebrand. Like she used to have like all these colors and rainbows and stuff like that. She also famously, which is pretty cool, but she was one of the first, if not the first. So sorry for my ignorance. I'm not big on fucking kid stars. Because I'm not a pedophile, but she came out.
A win is a win.
Yeah, she came out a few years ago, and that was like big news that she was out and proud. So she was doing all this stuff, like she was wearing all this rainbow stuff, and the way that she looks now is basically just all the rainbow stuff, but it's in black and white instead.
That's so funny.
Like
she
just
literally took the color palette out. Wasn't she the one who just got like viciously bullied by that dance mom lady? The whole time.
Yeah, she's like, JoJo, have you learned nothing?
Literally, the Dance Mom show was JoJo Siwa getting the shit kicked out of her verbally by the leader of Dance Moms, and everyone was like, keep it filming. Dude, no one, she's a child, we don't care. She crying, good, film it.
That fucking lady
and it was great
is
TV.
Crazy. Wait, I want to bring up the JoJo Siwa dance. Have you seen this?
I mean, no, I have not seen this, but also, like, just real quick.
Are you serious? It's not on yours. Do I have a different TikTok than you?
Probably. Oh, here. I just clicked on the name of Abby Lee Miller, who is, I guess, the dance mom, the mom of the grandmama of the dance. And she's got all this stuff.
Okay.
She's got some scandals behind her.
She has the worst fucking choreography I've ever seen. So everyone's like, dude. Everyone's like, Abby was totally right. Okay, here's JoJo doing the choreography to her dance. I hate it.
Oh, I don't like that.
I can't. I hate to say it so much because she's probably a traumatized child star and she's 20 years of age. But it's just very not pleasant. It's just very, very... I don't know who the target demographic is. That's my problem.
Here's the reality. She definitely didn't come up with that herself. Like some person who's like a specialized choreographer probably came up with it.
Well, somebody who did a very bad job.
And I don't think they did a great job. And she seemed to do the moves correctly. So I'll give her that. I just don't like the dance. You know?
I don't know dance, so maybe...
If you're just listening, it's a lot of jumping around, grabbing her crotch, which women, why are we doing that?
I don't know.
I know we're doing that, but like, isn't that kind of guys' thing?
Yeah, it's just like unpleasant to look at. I don't know. I don't like.
Let's grab our breasts. I think that would be more appropriate for us because they're flopping around if you're jumping around. So
that's true.
That makes way more sense than grabbing there's nothing there.
My God. By the way, just an aside, I've been doing core power yoga, first of all, it's a fucking yoga class. It's 1,000 degrees in there.
Yeah, it is.
And you're like lifting these weights and shit. It's crazy. But a part of the class is that they do like a little, what do you call that? Cardio section.
Yeah.
And
I hate that part.
Oh, it's so bad. But I like everyone else is doing all this arm stuff, and I just have to hold my boobs. I'm like jumping and holding my boobs.
There you go.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I think we should do in dance now.
And
just
like
grab them and just.
You're basically naked in there because it's so fucking hot. Like I'm wearing little shorts and a sports bra, and there's teachers always looking at me like, okay, yeah, that makes complete fucking sense. That this woman's just holding her boobs, like. And doing these jump squats.
She's trying so hard, but they're flying all over the place.
Yeah. Anyway, so she is, I don't know. We'll see how this pans out for her. I feel so bad for her. I can't believe this isn't on your TikTok because she has been getting annihilated.
Really?
Like I haven't seen one positive thing. And I've seen a lot. And
I think it's going to go well. I think we'll be the positive thing for her. Go JoJo.
So
I don't like her though. I will say that she, like her whole presence really irritates me. But I'm happy for her, and she's got like 11 million followers. She's fine.
Well, the thing is, like, I wonder what's going on behind the scenes because, as previously discussed, she was an abused child on television. You know, and any child that's on television, that's not great, especially when you're in a leotard dancing and being told you suck over and over again.
I cannot believe that was a show, and everyone was just like, "This is fine."
Oh yeah,
the Nickelodeon shows just came out. That whole documentary on them all getting diddled.
Oh yeah.
There's no shot Dance Moms had no problems.
Someone was getting
kidding
diddled.
me? Someone was getting diddled.
Someone was getting diddled.
This is why we're not going to be played in Canada, because we're spreading misinformation.
Anyway, but JoJo, for whatever reason, she seems to be coming out on top in terms of like love for herself, which, hey,
that's great.
That's good. But she takes it a little far. So she has this Tesla, and it is photos of herself all over the fucking Tesla.
Oof.
And she drives this thing all over LA. And it's like,
well,
just be a little human.
Do you want to get abducted, JoJo?
But I wonder,
like, who do you? Oh, JoJo's driving down the road.
Yeah, I don't say this lightly because I think people throw around words that are not the actual meaning of the word quite often. But I mean, this might be genuine narcissism in the sense that she doesn't see the difference between negative attention and positive attention because she keeps posting this dance and she's like, love it or hate it. She's like, this, my song's stuck in your head, isn't it? And it's like, so you see that it's getting a visceral reaction from people and you're kind of enjoying it. And she doesn't seem to realize.
Well, I'm curious how it pans out for her because she probably is just trying to make money too.
Of course. Yeah. And like, you can't hate her on that. So I looked into her a little bit more because I was like, what's going on
What's
here?
up with this girl?
What's up with this girl? It turns out that she had a little bit of a scandal, which I'll go through quickly. So she, there was a expose that came out on Rolling Stone that said was an exclusive, and it said JoJo Siwa promised them pop stardom. They say they were thrown in the trash. So basically,
who is they?
Okay, so she started this band, or I guess her momager, Jesselyn Siwa. They put together this new girl group called X Oh My God Pop.
Okay,
and
sounds very K-pop of them.
Very much
our favorite
so.
Group.
Oh My God Pop. Yeah, so basically they're all coming, not all, but most of them are coming out and saying that they were like basically abused during that time, not sexually or anything like that, but just making kids cry, yelling at them, doing like grueling rehearsal schedules, a cutthroat environment, stuff like that. And it's kind of like this double-edged sword because it's like, if you're going to be a dancer, you kind of, that is the gig, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have to work really fucking hard. So it is sort of like, okay, but what do you mean by grueling rehearsal schedules?
Whenever they complain about the rehearsal schedules, I'm like, well, that is how you get good at things.
Right.
Like,
believe me, we know.
Do you think I'm trying to be at the fucking like 1 a.m. on stage? No.
Yeah. Do you think that
but that's just what you need to do in order to improve.
Do you think I want to fly to Pittsburgh to be picked up and go to Sandusky, Ohio? No.
You really hate going to Ohio. But I understand it's hard for kids, but like I guess we also did sports and like them's the breaks. You don't need to be like verbally abusing these kids and stuff like that.
Definitely
There's
don't.
obviously limits around that.
These kids were from ages 8 to 14 too, so
that's a tough age, but like I mean, I don't know. I was fucking full training big time at that point.
That's true.
And I'm really fucked up actually. So wait, maybe this is not a great example.
So then other people, the show's production company denied that and said that it goes against everything JoJo Siwa stands for. And it's like, so it's kind of, to me, I'm sort of like, maybe it's also kind of like a Lizzo situation where they're just accusing her of things.
Yeah, I think without like more concrete, if they were just saying, oh, it was hard, like, well, I believe it, but that is what you are doing. Would you like to unsubscribe from this? You do, or you can quit.
So here's like kind of a bombshell. So there was a family, the Sandersons, their daughter was on X Oh My God. And they alleged that the treatment got worse once the show ended. And they became like a full-time group. So Leah, who has spina bifida.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what that disease is, but I've heard it before. Recalls bleeding through her belly button during rehearsal. Allegedly, instead of having Leah take a break, Jesselyn, so JoJo's mom, told her to put a maxi pad on it and to protect her costume. Leah also alleges that after a surgery, she was told to come back to work before the physician recommended recovery period. So, not ideal.
It's not ideal, but also like, Jesselyn, where's your mother?
Yeah.
Where's your mother to put those limiters around it?
Yeah.
It's not great, but like, that is how elite competitions go. Like, I mean, I did elite sports and like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Your job as the parent and stuff is to like put those limiters because the people in charge are going to inevitably push. Now, pushing this hard for some like, little girl group to dance, I guess they probably made a fuckload of money. I'm like, I literally ripped open my hip and had to get a hernia replacement over swimming. Maybe I'm the wrong person to ask about this though. It's probably not the healthiest relationship.
Yeah. So having done swimming at the level that you had, I mean, obviously it's like really cool. It shaped a lot of who you are. You obviously were like super into it at the time. And would you allow your child to have a sport like that at that level?
I would, with more parameters around it. I think also just being in it, I would know a little bit better, like what's what. But in terms of like the training and stuff like that, I think that there were very few times that I would say that was a little much.
Okay, yeah.
And it just really toughens you up. Like, the world is competitive. If you want to achieve really big things, you're gonna have to do things that most people are not comfortable doing.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna die. Like, don't push yourself to where you die.
Right.
But I don't know.
It's kind of. I also think.
What about you? You did the hockey. Would you have your kid play hockey?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I would definitely have my kid play hockey, and I want them to really care about something. And you learn, like, there's times in hockey where I cared so much about making a team or doing or whatever, winning a tournament, things like that. And sometimes that doesn't happen, and you have to learn how to lose gracefully. You have to learn how to take like rejection in a way that sometimes when you meet somebody and you can tell they're so sensitive to the point that it's like, how do you like get up in the morning?
Right.
And then you talk to them for a little bit and they're like, I didn't really play sport. And I'm like, yep, that makes sense. Because you never had to learn how to deal with like, I have to just do better next time.
And the point of sports and the point of these kind of organized things are like, it's adversity in a safe environment. Right. We were swimming back. I was swimming back and forth. You were skating around. Like, no one was gonna die.
No one was gonna die.
And you get to develop all these like really resilient features with it in a safe environment, which I think is the whole kind of the whole point of the deal. Versus if you're in a place where you literally are like fighting for your life. Like, we're very privileged that we get to do all this stuff. So
right.
I don't know. I mean, I'm Team JoJo once again.
Yeah. Well, I wish her all the best. I mean, I'm like worried about her. She's getting a lot of heat, but maybe it'll go away once the song is finally released, and I don't know.
People go through cycles. She'll probably, I mean, she's been around long enough that they're going to like be like, oh, we like her, or we hate her, and then she comes back around. Like people didn't like Anne Hathaway for a while. Like, it's just that unfortunately is, if you're going to be that big of a public figure, the world just decides that that's what they're going to do with you for a while. But they're talking about her, so she's going to continue to have a career.
Not liking Anne Hathaway is so funny. She just didn't do anything.
She literally did nothing, and we were all like, no. Jennifer Lawrence got that too.
Yeah, she did.
I think it's like the overexposure. Almost.
It is overexposure because Jennifer Lawrence in particular, she was like super well liked for a long time because she was being quirky and relatable, and then everyone was like, no, that's pick me. Yeah. And then now she's like the fucking gold star pick me girl.
Yeah.
But
I think she's coming back around though. I think I've seen it all trend more positively for her recently. So
yeah.
Well, good
luck.
Why
can't I just do comedy in private?
Yeah, it's really a shame.
That would be nice.
It would have been nice to be like in the 80s where you could just be like, oh God. I'm sorry. If you did comedy in the 80s, it was fucking easy.
It's just fun.
It seemed like it was a blast, unless you were a woman, in which case, never mind.
Sucks. But that is really nice to be able to go. You just have to like hang out at a club. They get to know you, put them up. Like here, it's like you gotta like you're running a fucking small business.
You're literally an entrepreneur.
I don't want to do it. I just want to do it in private.
Well, talking about, are we done with JoJo? Or
yeah, we're done with JoJo.
All right, talking about ladies doing things. I don't really have a story on this beyond Caitlin Clark is like the fucking best
goat.
She's the goat. I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah, what's
right
her
now? That's
story?
been my TikTok. It's just been I've been watching basketball replays.
See, I haven't seen this at all.
You need to get on it. It's so fun. She's very good. I don't know if you've watched these games, but unbelievable. Like her scoring is she just won't miss. It's amazing.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar, she grew up in Iowa and is like still playing collegiate basketball, is in March Madness right now. The Elite Eight game that they had was one of the biggest games that have ever been aired, especially for women's basketball. It outranked like most of the like the football stuff. I think even like some of the baseball championships and things like that. And that wasn't even the finals. So people were hyped about Caitlin Clark. She is far and away. I think she's the highest scoring player between men and women.
Okay. Wow.
Which
That's
is
insane.
No, I know.
Wow.
She's really, really good. And she also has a lot of like great personality, like you see a lot of it when she's on court. Women's basketball right now has a bunch of like, just like kind of cunty girls.
Love.
I'm obsessed with them.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. I understand we need to have good sportsmanship, but I'm kind of over it. I kind of want them to like be cunty to one another.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Well,
it's so fun. It's harmless.
You know
they're
what?
That mad about basketball. Who cares?
That's kind of an epic. I don't know if they're doing this. I'm not accusing them of doing this on purpose, but it's kind of an epic strategy to get people to watch, because
God
if
forbid.
Real Housewives and Vanderpump Rules has taught us anything, it's that confrontation sells. It's that personal beef sells.
Absolutely. And I mean, why should reality television stars are not doing anything? They are literally existing, and then they're just like, you're a bitch. And then that's the episode. Literally.
They're literally just at a table. They go to these horrible dinners where they hate everyone at the fucking table with them.
Yeah. And that's the whole episode. Yeah. Meanwhile, if we add that same element in to basketball, they're like, you're a bitch. And now they're going to play a fucking game against one another. And you get to watch them be extremely skilled and like kind of fight a little bit on court. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I am hyped about it. Caitlin Clark is amazing. She's already worth $3 million.
Wow.
She's made a lot of money in endorsements. Her endorsements are like nuts. She signed with Nike in 2022, State Farm a year later, and then Gatorade last December. Those are just some of the bigger ones. She's got like her own branded cereal, Caitlin's Crunch.
Jesus.
Time.
Oh, Caitlin's Crunch. That's cute.
I know. Isn't that adorable?
Mm-hmm.
But like this is just since January 2022. She has managed to make $3 million already, which is especially for women's basketball, it's a lot of money.
My God, that's so much money for women's I think.
It is. Well,
I mean, famously, they don't get paid.
I know, but it's one of those. So I looked into it a little bit more. So right now everyone's like, oh, is she going to go pro? And she has announced that she would, but I don't it doesn't until she does. It's to be debated. Mm-hmm. But the WNBA, their starting salary is like $75,000.
That's
for the first year. Granted, you get
money.
endorsements, and she would get like every single endorsement ever.
Right.
But part of me is like, I don't know. I think it's kind of fun seeing her in like the college. Like she can still do the endorsements, but she has like the structure of the March Madness stuff around her there. So I hope she kind of stays in.
So it'd be so awkward being on a team and literally you're getting paid millions more than someone else on your team. That is tough.
And she still has to like go to class. Like she still has to do all the rules. They're all like, she's in Psych 101. Everyone's like,
hey,
multi-million, like you're fine. I don't think that this is going to matter to you.
How crazy.
I know, it's wild. She also has an offer from this other basketball league that I knew nothing about. Apparently, the WNBA is not the only one. Ice Cube, rapper and actor Ice Cube, has a basketball league called the Big Three.
Oh, it's only 3 teams?
It's only 3 players. It's a 3-on-3 league co-founded by him.
I don't understand this.
So it's basically a different game, but it's basketball with only 3 players on each side, as far as I understand it. And which is kind of fun. You know, it allows them to really focus on the individual players. Obviously, there's a lot more pressure. It sounds interesting. And he has purportedly offered her $5 million to join that league rather than going to the WNBA.
Interesting.
It's technically possible for her to apparently do both the WNBA and the Big Three, but she's not expected to do that. That would be an unusual play. But everything about her has been unusual so far. So
yeah.
How great.
So there's no like exclusivity. She can do both of them at the same time. I mean, she's only one person too. That's a lot of fucking basketball to play.
It's a lot of basketball, but it's also
a lot of scheduling.
But like that's why most people wouldn't assume that she's gonna do that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
she could.
Wow.
She definitely could. How cool though. It's so fun that we
cool.
have like a, I don't know, big women's superstar in one of those sports. And I also want to say that like she's not the only one it's not just her. Angel Reese is from LSU. She's also absolutely amazing. People have been like hyping her up as well. So basketball in general seems to have a lot of stars right now. It's really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
We'll have to go see a game.
I would love to. Oh, that was the other thing. The tickets for that game were like $11,000 minimum.
What?
Like it was people are like freaking out.
What the hell?
No, I'm not kidding. That's really
crazy.
famous.
Wow.
Like really, really famous. It's awesome.
That's insane.
I know. It really is.
Wow. Anything else on her?
No. But the finals I think are this weekend. So maybe I'll have some more commentary.
Okay,
maybe I'll turn this into a sports podcast.
I'd be such a bad host of a sports podcast.
It'd be tough.
You'd really be carrying the load. Tell you that. Okay, so my last one is about Kanye. Everyone's favorite anti-Semite, Kanye West, is being sued for workplace abuse. So
that feels almost like anticlimactic. We're like, yeah, obviously.
Right. It's kind of like
have you seen his wife that he walks around with?
Yeah. Is she okay?
No, she's very obviously not okay.
Yeah, she did not seem right.
I think she's like, I mean, I have no basis to say this, but she just is giving me like a drugged vibe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about, Kanye West has this literal Kim Kardashian lookalike. That's his wife now. Her name is like Bianca something.
I think so. Yeah.
And he has like a
Bianca
embarrassment fetish, which is
what?
It must be because he always is he's making her wear like things that show her privates in public all the time. Like that's fashion. Yeah. I don't even think we could put it on the YouTube. It's kind of egregious.
Bianca, what's her? Let's do
just Bianca Kanye. She'll show up.
Yeah.
But like it'll be just a lot of outfits that are. I mean, she has the same like proportions as Kim Kardashian, and a lot of her outfits will just be, you know, spandex, super super tight. Yeah,
it's
apparently
kind of fucking insane. By the way, that like somehow she is both very voluptuous and gaunt.
She's a very frightening body. I've never once seen her speak.
No, I don't think anybody has.
One time. Yeah, he made her wear a sheer bodysuit with nothing under it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think they blurred this out. Yeah, but they're walking around LA. She's wearing this
and I'm like,
white sheer bodysuit. Everyone's like, what the hell is happening?
My question to her is like,
they went to the Cheesecake Factory in it. You cannot make this up.
Good for them. That's fucking hilarious.
Cheesecake Factory is great.
But she, like, there's no way she has any friends.
I don't know. LA is a weird place, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How crazy.
Yeah. Also, I'm looking through tons of photos of her. Not one is she smiling. So I'm like, I don't know what to think about this.
Yeah,
Someone
I mean, I think I know what to think
in.
about this. I'm concerned for her. Sometimes you need to just realize.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, that sucks.
So that's Bianca. Who is that? And that's not the person that's saying that there's a problem?
No. Definitely
not. Great.
Not Bianca. So an employee claimed that this is so funny to me. An employee claimed that Kanye, threatened him by saying, "I'm going to punch you in the face," before abruptly changing tone, mimicking Super Mario's victory dance and saying, "I'm going to give you one more chance, sir. Another life."
That's really funny. You shouldn't say that to your employees, but at least it's, I mean, well delivered. That's like stand-up comedy style.
That's
right
great.
There. I'm going to give you one more chance.
Yeah, I don't know what Super Mario's voice sounds like.
I don't know. I think that must be from one of the older games, but that's very funny.
He also, this is probably no surprise to anybody, he went on a rant about Hitler's greatness, said the Holocaust was fake. I didn't say that, YouTube. Kanye said that.
Yes,
and then he had staff members come to the meeting room and watch the Batman on mute in silence.
I almost like, I'm like, he's going through a insane mental crisis.
Yeah. Like
And
the chemicals are
off.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
What is up?
He also said that if employees got fat, they would be fired. So
that feels like just that of everything else. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, that's still insane. If anyone else normal did that, I'd be like, oh, it's bananas.
Please don't fire me for gaining 10 pounds. And also at his Donda Academy, remember he made that little academy for schools?
children.
Oh my God, these kids. I mean, anybody who's putting their child in that needs CPS to be called on.
That is an instance where CPS needs to get involved.
Sincerely. He allegedly wanted to introduce a jail where kids would be locked in cages.
What?
Allegedly.
I don't think he's qualified to be a teacher. It sounds like he doesn't like them kids.
Yeah. He also threatened to go after the LGBTQ plus community next, quote, because and I quote, gay people are controlled by Bill Gates so they don't have children for population control.
By Bill Gates? Bill Gates is like, why are you dragging me into this?
Bill Gates gets dragged into everything.
It's like, I have what are you talking about?
So, yeah, I mean, guy's got some bops. That's for damn sure.
So there's a real lawsuit going on about it. It sounds like he's going to win this lawsuit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, these are all just like, I mean, I don't know what to think.
I know we're going to talk about, we're recording 2 episodes today. And the second one we're going to do is Sean Puff Daddy Combs, which it has some similarities to this. I'm kind of curious how that'll play together, because he's also done some crazy shit.
You think?
And real crimes.
Yeah. It's also so funny to think about making them watch the Batman on mute and silence as abuse.
Yeah, I know. It is though. I feel like that's what we do, hilarious. Like Guantanamo.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so funny.
You don't get to hear his grisly voice.
You got anything else?
I've got one tiny little story. This one is so funny. Okay, so in California, there is a law that prohibits law enforcement, so like the police, when they arrest people, from sharing photos of their suspects that were arrested for nonviolent crimes. So like the mug shots, you know how they go on like some like the police websites. If it's a nonviolent crime, they're not allowed to share that.
Okay.
So what the Murrieta Police Department did to get around this law is they started putting the Lego heads on top of the victims' bodies. Or not victims, I'm sorry, the perpetrators.
The perpetrator, yeah.
The perpetrators.
Victims' bodies would be insane.
Yeah, that'd be crazy as well. And either way, these are like people who are in jail for a crime, nonviolent crime, but now there's this picture of them with all these Lego heads on
my God, that's so funny.
And they were sharing them on social media, like, LOL. Look at us. This is so funny. Which, first of all, does the police department need to like go viral on social media?
Yeah, maybe just like do your
focus
job.
on not like beating the shit out of minorities. How about that?
Yeah.
You know? Focus up is my point. Now, unfortunately, Lego was like, wait. And they filed like an official complaint to the department saying, could you please, for the love of God, stop using our images from our toys on top of literal criminals on your social media.
That's incredible. Good for them.
I mean, that kills me. That like someone in the social media department for Lego was like, oh, you guys are not going to fucking believe what we have to deal with today. This random police department.
Where was this? Murrieta?
I don't know.
California?
Somewhere in California.
Epic.
How great, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the story. I think they complied.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Probably just using like emojis now.
Yeah. Or just.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Well, we have to go because now we have to talk about Sean P. Diddy Combs and his alleged crimes against children and humanity. So yeah, log in next week, or I guess probably that will come out before this one.
Well,
we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll talk about it.
You'll find out depending on what.
Anyway,
you're listening
please like, subscribe, follow me at May_Planner. Buy tickets to my special. There's my link in the bio. It's April 17th at Grove 34. There's a 7 p.m. and a 9 p.m. available.
Yeah.
Tell your friends.
And follow me at Laura Sogar. I'm featuring at Cap City in Austin, Texas this week.
Yeah.
So if this episode comes out this week, you'll still have time to come the fuck through. It'll be really fun. So, all right. Bye.